with Woodley, you watch him fight Till. Very impressive win. At least from an optics perspective, you got Till landing 0 significant strikes. Were you at least impressed with Tyron's performance?
To be honest, no. If anything, I got to take credit for Woodley's performance. I'm glad he didn't lose. I wanted him to win. I worked too hard to build this fight for anyone else to steal my glory for ending his career. But, as far as his fight, Till was an overrated doughboy. He had a whole lot of hype. He talked the talk, but he couldn't walk the walk like me. He beat a crippled old clown boy, and he got a gift in his hometown against a choir boy. He should have never been rewarded for missing weight in a third of his fights in the UFC. Good thing he neglected his family so he could land 0 significant strikes. What a joke.
GSP, do you think he's the greatest welterweight of all time?
On paper, yeah, but if we're talking about real greatest of all time to the people and the fans, there's no doubt about it. It's me, and I'm going to go down as the greatest welterweight of all time. It's a different era. It's a lot higher level. Back then, GSP was fighting cans, man. He was fighting guys that were coming out of the stands that fought that had 1 week of training experience. It's just different levels. Now is a different timing, and I do a lot more that GSP can't do. I sell fights, I promote. I get people excited about fights again. So, and I'm beating the best guys in the world consistently every single fight. So, when it's all said and done, I will be going down as the greatest welterweight of all time.
You do say a lot of controversial things. Have you ever been threatened by anybody where you thought this could actually be a legitimate threat, where you did feel like you might be endangered? Not by a fighter, obviously, but by somebody, in the public, somebody saying something crazy to you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. After the Brazil thing, I'm still nervous about that. I was getting death threats from all the favelas and all the gangs out there in Brazil. Like I was getting thousands of DMs and messages on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook saying, these people from Brazil, we will kill you. I guarantee you're not going to live for another year. We're coming to find you and we will kill you. So, after I said my remarks to Brazil, I know they took that personal. So, it wasn't anything personal. I'm doing business and I'm selling fights. So, I was a little nervous about the Brazil thing. That's why they had to move the fight. The interim title fight that I had with RDA was originally going to be in Rio de Janeiro. But the favelas were hitting up the UFC saying, hey, we got a $50,000 bounty on Colby's head that he doesn't make it to the octagon alive. So, all those favelas put a $50,000 bounty on my head to kill me that I don't make it to the octagon. So the UFC is like, nope, we're going to put this title fight in the U.S. on U.S. soil. So that's why I got moved to Chicago.
I never know when you're embellishing or not, but that's for real? Like there was a legitimate bounty on you?
No, I swear that's 100% for real. There was a legitimate bounty on my head. That's why the fight got moved. Once the UFC saw that, their legal department, they're like, nope, we cannot do it. We can't take a chance of putting fighter safety and putting this guy's life in danger at work.
That's crazy. When you saw those threats come through, were you like, maybe I should tone this down a little bit? Or were you like, maybe I just shouldn't go to Brazil?
No, to be honest, I was like, you know what? Screw it, man. I got no fear. I was willing to give that's what shows how much what extent I'm willing to go to make it in this career and become a superstar. That's what I'm willing to go to, man. I'm willing to put my life on the line. I was willing to go fight in Brazil, even though that they had a $50,000 bounty on my head. I didn't care, man. I was like, okay, man, I'm willing to take that chance because I want to be a superstar. And sometimes if you want to be a superstar, you're going to have to put your life on the line.
That's crazy. Wow, that must have been actually, quite scary. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen outside the walls of your home or wherever you're going.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I always keep an eye on my back. I'm never not aware of my surroundings. Anytime I go anywhere now, I'm very aware of my surroundings. There's a lot of, it's not just Brazilians, there's a lot of people that, now I got, all the liberal snowflakes. I got all the left-wing motherfuckers that want to come after me. So, I got to watch my back and always, but now I stay inside. I'm a homebody. I don't go out. I don't do stuff. I don't party. I don't go to clubs. I be smart with my life now. I don't put myself in danger.
Will you have added security whenever you're going to any of these events?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime I'm at an event now, I will have added security. I'll have security guards that are loaded with pistols and stuff. So, luckily my agent, Dan Lambert, he has all the money in the world. So he's a billionaire. So, he'll provide security detail for me anytime I go to events. And, I won't have to worry about, fans or anybody trying to come at me. I can just focus on my fights.
And I guess you kind of caught the ire of Snoop Dogg, although I don't think he knew that you weren't Darren Till. But he was, he is a former UFC broadcaster. I don't know how he didn't know the difference.
Yeah, I know. That asshole needs to stick to rapping. And he also needs to get used to Donald Trump being his president for another 6 years. So Snoop Dogg's a joke. Have you seen that malnourished twig hit the mitts?
I haven't. Is it, I'm guessing it's not very good?
No, Aaron, it's terrible. It looks like a toddler hitting the mitts. It looks like a guy that doesn't have an athletic bone in his body. But yet here he is trying to critique fighters and make fun of fighters when he can't even hit mitts as good as a kindergartner.
It does seem like a lot of fighters have that in common with you in terms of not liking Snoop Dogg. Because of, I guess, on the Contender Series, he wasn't, super respectful to these guys who are putting their lives on the line.
Yeah, he's a clown. He has no business talking about fighting and giving an opinion on fighting because he's never fought and he can't fight.
So is MSG the target for you in terms of where you want to fight next? Like if you had your pick, that's where you're looking to headline an event?
Absolutely. That's the Mecca, man. MSG is the most iconic sports arena in the world, and it's right down the street from the Trump's office. That I know the Trump family has already reached out to me. Hey, if you fight in New York, we'd love to come support you. So keep us posted. So I'd be right down the street from the Trumps. It would be a huge event. It's already every time they go to Madison Square Garden, it's the marquee event. So it's the blockbuster event. Why not do this fight? It's the biggest fight the UFC has right now. So to make, they got the Conor Khabib fight. This is the biggest fight to make. There's no other bigger fight out there right now. So it makes sense to go there. But I'll leave that to them, man. If I can only ask for what I want. If I don't get it, it is what it is. I'm hoping maybe Super Bowl weekend. That's another really big weekend that I'd like to do it. So we'll see how the cards lie, but I'm prepared and I'm training hard now. And whenever the UFC needs me, I'll be available.
Do you want to fight Super Bowl weekend so you can take eyeballs off of the NFL?
Exactly. That's exactly it, man. See, you read my mind, man. I didn't think we were on that good at chemistry yet, but you read my mind, man. All these fucking NFL fucking jabronis, man, kneeling during games to the national anthem, trying to take a political stance when they're overpaid as it is. It's a complete joke. I got no respect for anybody in the NFL anymore, especially the guys that are kneeling. And that's my whole mission for the rest of my career is to take eyes off the NFL and draw more eyes to the UFC.
I'm guessing you have probably a good core of fans that do follow you and do like, I guess, your political stances. I mean, you rip on those guys for making political stances, but a lot of what you've been doing lately is, are political stances.
Yeah, but no, it's completely different though. You got to, let's be honest. These guys are paid to play football. I'm paid to promote and sell fights. It's you can't compare us. It's a completely different stance. I mean, you're talking about guys that are trying to take a political stance, kneeling for the national anthem on our flag. Like, let's talk about what that means. Since we grew up as little kids, putting our arm across our heart to the national anthem, it was to pay respect to the troops, to pay respect to America. This is something bigger than politics, man. This is about doing what's right for the troops. The military, like the flag to the military, that means everything. So like anytime the flag is shown, like our military's out there, they're sacrificing their lives, they're putting their lives on line to protect these silver spoon-fed football players, to protect their careers. They're putting their lives on the line so these football players can have their opportunities. And it's a complete joke. They have their limited time. They're on TV to play football, dude. We're on TV to sell fights and talk shit. So it's completely different careers and a completely different selling point. So, these guys should not be disrespecting our military like that because I know firsthand, I go visit the troops, I give back my time to go hang out with our Army and all the military service. So, I know how much the flag means to those guys, and the football players kneel to it. They take that to heart. It disrespects them, and I just feel bad. It really tears my heart apart to see, these guys kneel to our flag.
Do you feel like the anthem should be played at UFC events, or do you think that I guess anthems and politics and all that should be separated from sports as a whole?
I think it should be, but, you know, you also have a diverse culture. You know, there's a lot of different countries and nations coming there, so I would understand if they didn't want to, because it's not just USA people. There's people from Brazil, there's people from Canada, there's people from Europe. So I would understand, you know, then it's favoritism. Then you'd have – but it'd be kind of cool if you had to play your national anthem every country you went to, you know, all the different countries for fights if they played it. But yeah, I 100% – in America, like, for a sporting event, like, they should play the national anthem, because what does that stand for, man? That stands for being proud to be in America. It stands for the troops and the military. So, you know, we have to pay our respects to them, because without them, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing.